Okay, so recently, unfortunately, Drake has tied Michael Jackson for the most number one hits by a male artist in history. And now he's working to get a 14th one, talking about Sycamore doesn't count, but we got work to do, basically. And honestly, this record should not have even happened. I see a lot of people talking about how streaming has really changed the game and everything, and about how there should be, a distinction before streaming when you actually had to go and buy things and with streaming. And I personally do agree because it's just really not comparable at this point. But I mean, with this record, it kind of just seems to me like all Drake wants to do is just break a bunch of records and everything like that. People pointed this out, but he spent so long getting ridiculed, being the underdog and everything like that. But then it got to a point where, you couldn't deny the numbers and everything. And it's like he just hasn't accepted that. And all he wants is a bunch of records and everything. And it's not about making quality music. It's about beating all these things. And I heard he dissed Rihanna on his album. And people are saying that he wants to get 14 to tie Rihanna. And, he eventually wants to beat her record and stuff like that. I mean, I just think it's corny. I just think it's corny that this is what he's working for at this point. Not even to make good music. I really don't think he cares about that at this point. I don't think that he's cared about it for a while, but this is where we're at, and it gets worse. I saw this too. Drake shares edit of Michael Jackson wearing his merch after hitting number one on the Billboard Hot 100. This just feels weird. It feels disrespectful. I don't know what his thought process was behind this, but this is just a very odd individual. I will say that, like, every time he breaks records, he just does weird stuff, and he's just a very weird individual overall. I don't really like him. I was just thinking back to whenever he did this. He got a tattoo of himself in front of the Beatles, flipping them off because he broke some record that they got. Like, he can't ever just celebrate the record. No, like, I'm gonna go out of my way to disrespect or diss whoever I broke to get the record. He just has some weird, like, complex about himself, and yeah, all this kind of stuff, I just don't like it. It's just not it. It's just not it. Just because he's tied Michael Jackson's record and maybe he might break it one day doesn't really take away anything from what Michael has done. Like I was saying, everything is different now, I will say. But, I know his fans are going to be dragging me in the comments of this video, calling me every single name in the book, but I just had to. Like, I'm so tired of saying these things about Drake. I'm so tired of his continued success of making the same song over and over again, like the same album, constantly dissing women who don't deserve it. Like, it's just clear that he doesn't really care about art. He cares about records. And, it's sad to see it, but it doesn't really take away from anything that Michael Jackson has done. We'll see how many hits Drake gets by, the end of his career. But as people said, his last hits weren't even memorable. The last memorable hit he had was like God's Plan or In My Feelings, which was like 2018. This is like 5 years ago, the last time he had a memorable hit. So it really is all about records to him. You can call me bitter, you can call me whatever you want in the comments, but he just irritates me, truly.